Professor Pallas here with the weekly wrap-up covering Week 9. This week, our class survey addressed the topic of genetics, biochemistry, and obesity. Specifically, I was interested in learning, after reading chapters 4 and 5 in the textbook, what your opinion was on the relationship between genetics, biochemistry, and obesity. 100% of you felt that genetics and biochemistry may inform obesity, but an individual can overcome or manage obesity with diet, lifestyle, and exercise. This was great to see, and we're going to start to learn in week 11 how exercise and physical activity, which are two key components of the energy out side of the energy equation, can be used to help someone manage weight. So exciting things are coming. Due dates. As a general rule, items in this class are due on Sundays by 11:59 p.m. This is by design to be respectful of the time that you invest in class and for those of you that have other obligations and commitments to families and or your careers. However, we have one very small project that's due on a Monday. Due Monday, April 1st by 11:59, please submit the target audience that your group has selected for your group project. Your group project is an obesity prevention and treatment program. It is not due until the end of the semester, but I would like to know by April 1st in writing what audience you will be targeting with your program. The Popular Diets program, that assignment is due on Sunday, March 31st at 11:59 p.m. I did post last week a short video that gives you more information on this assignment. You're basically going to be analyzing a popular diet that is out there being promoted to the general public today. This assignment should be a lot of fun for you. If you have questions, please reach out and let me know. Let's take a few minutes and review what we've learned in class this week. Obesity is a complex polygenic trait. The phenotype is the observable trait. The genotype is the genetic combination of DNA that causes the observable trait. Epigenetics, these are the processes that control gene expression without altering the DNA profile. And research is showing that a combination of genetic and epigenetic information may have greater utility for complex trait prediction. Obesity, remember, is a complex trait. There are some inherited genetic conditions that are going to predispose people to obesity. The International HapMap project is currently identifying genes that are associated with health and disease. They have currently identified mutations of 20 to 30 genes that could result in a variety of different obesity phenotypes. Remember, the phenotype is observable. That is what you see. When we look at the role of dieting and we consider your genetics and the effectiveness of dieting, we have found through a study conducted by Stanford University of 101 overweight women that when the diet was matched to the genotype, the diet was more effective. And remember, those diets were matched to people who had greater responsiveness to using and utilizing carbohydrates, proteins, or fats. Additionally, information from the Human Genome Project is being used to study activity level. The Human Fitness Gene Map genotype is associating genes with endurance performance, with muscular strength, and with response to exercise. We are going to be talking about the role of physical activity and exercise in upcoming weeks, and it will be important for you to remember to incorporate this into your group project, your obesity prevention and treatment program. This week, we also learned that adipose tissue is considered an active endocrine organ. There is a relationship among storage fat, that is the adipose tissue, the active endocrine organ. There's a relationship between the endocrine organ of adipose tissue, the brain, and weight status. A precursor stem cell in the presence of insulin and cortisol can convert to a fat cell, an adipocyte. This process is lipogenesis. This is the storing of fat. Lipogenesis, the uptake of fatty acids into preadipocytes, is regulated by lipoprotein lipase, and it is promoted by insulin. Remember insulin, the storage hormone. LPL is an enzyme that removes fatty acids from the bloodstream, and LPL is often called the gatekeeper of fat cells. It promotes storage in white adipose tissue. Increased levels of LPL promotes hypertrophy or increased size of adipocytes. And LPL increases in the following conditions: after eating, in the presence of insulin, with exercise in some people, that's a regulatory or protective effect. And it also can increase after periods of restrictive dieting in some people. Another hormone that is secreted by adipose tissue is leptin. Leptin relays messages about the energy storage level in the adipose tissue to the brain. Leptin works on a negative feedback loop. When you have low leptin levels, you have an increased risk for weight gain. Leptin levels rise when we eat, increasing the activity of the anorexigenic effectors, which turn off feeding. High levels of leptin turn off feeding. Low levels of leptin drive the desire to eat. Low levels of leptin occur when people are in a fasting state or in a weight loss state. The last thing that we discussed this week was the relationship between inflammation and obesity. And obesity is now being described as a chronic low-grade inflammation state. Adipokines, and leptin is an adipokine, are cytokines that are produced by adipose tissue, and they are associated with increased inflammation. Thank you so much for your time today.